Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting interview by Financial Insight. My name is Mwelwa and I am at the Cape Town International Convention Center where Financial Insight have yet again been media partner for Africa GreenCo for the third year in a row. And with me I have the pleasure of introducing to the Financial Insight ecosystem Precious, who is one of GreenCo's not really newest heads, but yeah, she heads the South African leg of it. Precious, welcome to the show.
Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely, it's always nice whenever we get a chance to link up with GreenCo. Like I mentioned in my opening remarks, GreenCo obviously is one of our strategic partners. We have been covering them and the journey, I must say, which has been phenomenal, where they set up in Zambia and then extend their reach now to different other countries, especially in the SADC as well as the SAP member countries.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, I think this is your first time on the show. Are you able to just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you joined GreenCo?
Thank you. My name is Precious Mpepele. South African, born and bred here in South Africa. I am the commercial manager for Africa GreenCo, joined them October 2024. But GreenCo has always felt like family. I've made first contact with GreenCo in 2019 before they even started operating, and I've been following their model. And I guess it was God's timing that I also joined GreenCo.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously, it has been a wonderful journey. And obviously, now that they have presence in South Africa, we have noted that they've been signing a couple of agreements. But tell us about your role on the South African leg. What sort of affairs are you going to be looking after on their behalf?
Thank you. So GreenCo got licensed in South Africa in October 2024. So I've taken over to make sure that we establish the portfolio of IPP projects as well as customers in South Africa. So really it's acquisitions of customers, acquisitions of projects to ensure that we grow the GreenCo portfolio.
Right, and in the same vein, we know that obviously the regulations in South Africa have obviously been evolving quite a bit. How excited are you about what the sort of work that GreenCo is going to be doing, especially in light of some of the big announcements that we know around this SA energy regulatory landscape?
Oh yeah, it's been quite a whirlwind of reform in South Africa, but I think the GreenCo model is so well positioned to navigate the transitions and to actually prosper. Yes, we're relatively a market entrant in South Africa. However, I think our model is very attractive to anchoring some of the IPP projects. IPPs love our model because we are bankable. And the customer side, we bring a lot of innovations that are aligned to the reforms that customers need, with the South Africa introducing the South African wholesale electricity market. GreenCo has been trading, we've got the expertise, we've got the experience to provide the support that customers would need to make sure that they are balanced responsible. So we are ready for the transition, we are ready to bring value to the customers, to make sure that we structure their projects off balance sheets, make sure that they concentrate on their core businesses, and we make it easier for them to bring the transitional capacities that they need for the green economy.
Right, and you just talked about innovation. It's one thing about how innovative deals, was a buzz topic at the 2025 edition of the Africa Energy Forum. Tell me, you've had a chance to have a couple of meetings at this year's event. What has been your experience like, especially that this is more or less, I'd say, your first Africa Energy Forum with GreenCo? Yes.
It's my first and my first.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking grounds here. This was exciting experience. A lot of focus on the funding, financial aspects of projects development, capacity expansion, growth. We've interacted with the government representatives, we've interacted with commercial banks, we've interacted with developers and independent power producers. Less so customers. Understandably, these kind of events are more about how we do deal structurings, but I encourage also customers to be present, to be, for their voices to be heard, so that the deal makers that are structuring the projects also structure it with the focus on the customers. And this is where we bring that element into transaction structuring as well. But yeah, there were a few customers that we've engaged with, a couple of them, but presence was lacking on the customer side. But we are happy with the interactions we've had with the developing side, the banks. Creating relationships is important, making sure that our model is understood in the industry, in the funding and lending side of things. So that was key for us to achieve that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anyway, on a final note, what are some of the key takeaways that you leave your maiden, Africa Energy Forum, and what did you identify that really, really excites you and reaffirms that GreenCo is actually in the right sort of space and the opportunities are definitely coming?
GreenCo is definitely in the right sort of space. In the example I can give is with the wheeling structures that South Africa is introducing. There's a whole lot of transition going on in terms of how do we make the transition to the renewable energy space, the low carbon energy space, accommodative and inclusive, so that it's just and it's fair and it includes all stakeholders in South Africa and the region. So we brought an element of regional approach, regional integration that created a lot of interest as GreenCo. We need to punt this message that we need to see electrons as fungible, and we need to see this grid as the region as one unison grid, that we can all benefit from the diversities that each of the regional countries bring in terms of the renewable resources. And that was quite loved. Particularly in the banking side, it brings a different kind of thinking in how they do the lending structures,
right,
and the approvals. And because, we're going to sit here in I'm not going to say 10 years' time. Soon enough, GreenCo will be operationalizing import and export cross-border transactions, and it will bring a different focus in how commercial banks and funders look at cash flow certainty for their projects. Yes, we're introducing markets, and South Africa is also introducing its own market, so that security that's required under projects, the structures thereof, will need a different, whole new thinking. And we are there already operating in that market pricing uncertainties, market volumes uncertainties. That's the markets that we understand. And we understand how to bring certainty within an uncertain environment as well as GreenCo. That's the expertise that I value, and in joining this company that operates so innovatively in such an uncertain environment, navigating the political and socio-economic issues across the region, for me has been quite wonderful to witness the leadership of GreenCo, and I'm quite proud to be a member of that leadership of GreenCo to take it forward also in South Africa. Absolutely,
absolutely. And maybe just to add a bit of context in terms of the leadership whom Financial Insight has obviously engaged with over the years. In Zambia they're called the happy people. So on behalf of Financial Insight, I welcome you to the happy people of GreenCo.
Yes.
Absolutely. Precious, thank you so much for speaking to us. As always, at Financial Insight, we continue to track the stories as well as the developments that will come from your company.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for more insights from the final day of Africa Energy Forum. I've been your host, Mwelwa Chibesakunda. Get to know.